What did you think of Kuminga in his first game back, and what kind of went into the decision to bring him off the bench?
Yeah, J.K. did a great job tonight. He looked bouncy and strong, and I watched him work out yesterday. He got a great workout in, and the decision to start Brandon was based on combinations with Steph out, and we want to keep starting Draymond and Trayce for defensive reasons, and so it felt like a better combination if we started Brandon and brought Jonathan off the bench.
Yeah, you said there's a chance that Kuminga is on the bench. I mean, when you can sub in he and Moody and then Payton, do you like that kind of, I don't know, change of pace, the athleticism? You can just kind of change the game a little bit with those
yeah,
guys?
I mean, bringing Jonathan off the bench and watching him run the floor and attack the rim, that's a great dynamic to have off the bench. But we have to see when Steph is back. We got to find exactly how we want to do this, because we really felt good about J.K. starting for about 30 straight games with Draymond at the 5. But given what's happened over the last couple of weeks, I want to keep starting Trayce. So if JK's coming off the bench and he plays the way he did tonight, then great. So we'll figure it out.
Steve, how much did Clay getting in an early rhythm really give you guys some momentum that sort of carried things?
He was amazing. I thought early on the ball was moving well, and he hit some tough shots too, but he got some open ones. And second quarter, not quite the same. We didn't move the ball as well, but Clay's shot making really helped us get that lead.
I think you played Chris Paul 35 minutes. Was that the plan, or was it just going well?
No, I wanted to play him the first maybe 3 minutes of the fourth quarter and keep him around 29 or 30. But they won the first 6 minutes of the quarter, 18-10, with Clay and Chris on the floor. So the plan was to extend the lead with those guys, get them off, get them rest. But at that point, it's a 12-point game. I'm not taking them out. So Chris played a little more than I wanted him to play, but he said he was fine. He felt great.
Coach, you guys have like a pretty tight schedule coming up with the play-in and potentially playoffs. Do the conversations now change in the locker room, or do you guys just keep the same conversations?
Well, we always talk to the team about what's happening in the standings, playoff stuff. So I know the players talk about that stuff on their own, but we always make sure we mention it as a team, so the guys are really clear about what we're fighting for and what we're trying to do. So it's going to be very interesting. 4 games left and lots of different possibilities. We just got to keep winning.
It looked like Draymond went to the locker room for a bit there. Was he available in the fourth quarter?
He was available, yeah.
Was he dealing with a little lower back thing?
Yeah, he went in to have his back checked, but he said he was fine.
Got you. Steph, obviously you rested him today because you've seen the fatigue in him lately. Where do you see fatigue in Steph? When you feel like he's tired, where does it show in his game, do you think?
I think in his movement a little bit, maybe his judgment. I thought he looked good in Houston and Dallas. But before that, I thought he just looked like he wasn't moving quite as fluidly. And so, with Steph, he's it's important to get him a rest, not just for his legs, but just for his mind, keep him fresh. And so taking the day off today was, I think, a big deal for him. He just looked relaxed. He enjoyed himself on the bench with his teammates tonight, and I know this will do him some good.
So Steve, the concept of starting Trayce and allowing Draymond to be kind of the center fielder and stuff, when did that light bulb go on? When did that start clicking?
Well, it's something we've done in the past. Obviously we've started Draymond and Loon together for years, and before that, there was a series of centers who we played next to Draymond. So Bogut, David West at times, JaVale McGee, Loon. So we prefer to do that, but we really struggled with that group with Loon and Draymond and Wiggs, Steph, Clay out of the gate. That was the best lineup in the league last year, and we gave it 25 games, and we just couldn't get there. And so over the next 30 games or so, we were really searching and trying different things, and so we didn't really get to it until when we did.
Random question. Does anybody have more fun playing basketball than Gary Payton?
Maybe Steph, but it's close. Yeah, I love watching Gary play. It's there's an energy about him. He also just knows he makes the right play constantly catching the ball, swinging it immediately. He understands the importance of that type of action, and then the way he can dive and finish at the rim. He's a terrific player. And then, I thought Loon was great tonight. He's been out of the rotation quite a bit, and I hated ending his consecutive game streak. It was awful, and but we did what we needed to do to try to get the team going. And of course, Loon being the professional he is, he just kept going, and now he's played the last 5 games. He's a plus 23 in 13 minutes tonight. I mean, this is who he is. He's the ultimate pro and winner, and I love that guy. So really fun to see him out there.
He never got mad at you.
I'm sure he was mad at me, but he hit it well.
Lakers are down 15 at half right now. If they do lose, you would control your own destiny against them. Making Tuesday's game obviously pretty massive. Like how big, if the tiebreaker's on the line and you do control your own destiny, how big do you view that game, and how big do you view the difference between 9 and 10 potentially with a home playing game?
Yeah, I don't know. We're a better road team than a home team this year, but there's so many scenarios. It seems like with Phoenix, and I know Phoenix lost tonight, and with New Orleans, Sacramento, we're all kind of right there. But the Dallas game hurt, for us, because if we could have pulled that one off, I think we had a shot to even climb up to 7 or 8, and so we're still behind the 8 ball a little bit, and we're just going to keep trying to win, and we'll see what happens.
Steve, how valuable is it to be able to switch Trayce and Brandon in particular in and out of starting roles, especially given how young they are, how early it is in their pro career?
Yeah, it's not often that you can start a couple of rookies and feel good about it. So these guys are wise beyond their years. Trayce has a ton of college experience behind him that helped prepare him for this. Brandon doesn't, but just seems to have a natural feel for the game. And both guys have been fantastic this year. And our front office really nailed the draft, and it's fun to see them developing. And watching J.K. and Moses, our young guys, it's been a really good year for the growth of the young talent on the team.
You mentioned a few times a couple weeks ago that you could feel a good run coming. Who knows? A 10-game winning streak is out there. Maybe some people rolled their eyes a little bit about that. Maybe, but is this what you were saying, or do you feel there's better play out there for your team?
I mean, tonight wasn't a fair fight. I mean, they were missing all their guys, and I give Utah a lot of credit because they hung in till the end and played really hard. But I think that the totality of the last few weeks, I mean, you're seeing what we're capable of. I think we've won 7 out of 8. I think we have a shot to really close it out with 4 straight wins, maybe. I mean, if you do that and you win 11 out of 12, 10 out of 12, something like that, that's the kind of run that I've been talking about. So I do feel like we're kind of playing the way I expected us to, and we've found a pretty good rhythm. Problem, of course, is the West is just loaded this year. We're going to probably end up with a better record than last year and still drop from 6th to, somewhere in the play-in. So it's the way it goes.
That's what I was going to ask you. I mean, if you end up with a better record, are you a better team than last season?
Oh, yeah, we're definitely a better team. Better two-way basketball, better, I think, connection, better chemistry. There's a much better vibe with this team. So I still believe firmly that we can do something special. Obviously, it's going to be a lot harder than it normally would. We're going to have to win, at least one, probably two play-in games, and that's not easy. But, if we can get a chance, I like this group's chances.